Tim, do you remember what this baseball bat signifies?
Absolutely, Mark. That was, when we met, the first time we met, we were at a American Association of Diabetes Educators conference in Louisville, and you're with a friend of yours, and I was with a friend of mine, and we knew of each other, but when we were at the plant, we ran into you and started having a conversation about diabetes.
That's right. Right. That was quite a few years ago, back in 2001.
I think that was, yeah. Do you remember why we started ADS?
I do. We're both working for the first FDA-approved continuous glucose monitoring company, and a company by the name of Cygnus, and we ended up getting laid off. They laid off the entire sales organization, and you and I were trying to figure out what we were going to do, what our next step was, and so we decided that there was a void on the West Coast for companies that provided diabetes testing supplies at that time, and we decided we were going to start a company and provide exceptional service to customers and be a premier provider on the West Coast. Do you remember our early days way back to 2002? How we got started, our first office?
I do. We were driving up down the coast of San Diego looking for a place to call home for our office, and we drove into a strip mall about a block from the beach in Carlsbad, and we saw the owner of the building's son watering the concrete, and we got out of the car and we asked him if there was any space available. There was no sign. There's absolutely a unit coming available, which happened to be the upstairs administration office for a small church. And so we decided to take that office. It was about 700 square feet, where it all got started there.
That was the beginning. Those were crazy days. Mm-hmm. Just you and I. There was just two of us, and you handled all of the customer service and sales aspects, because when we started the business, we were both sales guys, and so only one person can go out and do sales, and somebody has to do everything else. And so you did sales and customer service, intakes, and I packed boxes back and back and did the QuickBooks and all the operations stuff. Mm-hmm. That was
it was much appreciated as well.
I bet you didn't like.
You did the hard work.
You didn't like to get your hands dirty with that boxing, did you?
No, that wasn't my specialty.
I remember our first month in business, we got our Medicare license at the end of 2002, and the first month we could actually go out and sell something was 2003, January, and we ended up with 19 patients. I will never forget that. And we were so excited that we had a start to the business, and people were actually, would use our service. And we went out and sold to, offices around San Diego, and serviced them. But as we grew over time, it was, we added some employees.
Employee or volunteer?
Volunteer.
Yes, our first person that we had help us was someone named Beverly, who was a neighbor of Mark's, who actually had retired, and she was, see Mark come home from work late, and she asked if we needed some help, and so Mark, said no, we're fine on our own, but she insisted, and so she came in and she helped us with administrative skills such as billing and putting spreadsheets together so we could bill our insurance properly. So, and then eventually we started selling, and we started paying her, which was good.
She was employee number one. And then I think number two was number two. Is that
Gail?
Gail was number two. It's changed a lot, right? It's blood glucose monitoring was in place as the gold standard in diabetes care for a long time. And when I got into it way back, way before I met you. The systems are blood glucose monitor and a test strip, and you had to put the blood on the test strip. You had to wait 30 seconds, and you wiped it off with a particular type of paper, and then you put it into the system, and then you waited another 60 seconds, and then it gave you a result. So it was an involved process, took a long time. Then it went to remember we had the one-touch system, where it was one drop of blood and that's all you had to do. But it was always sticking your finger. And then, the big evolution came in glucose monitoring with CGM, which we had kind of experienced at Cygnus, but it wasn't ready for prime time. But then Dexcom and Libre came around. I think when did we add Dexcom?
About 8 years ago, so that would have been about 2013 or 14.
Yeah, and that's kind of when we got into. But the change there was going from finger sticks as being the gold standard of care to continuous glucose monitoring, where it was, such an amazing difference in the information that it gave people living with diabetes to help manage their disease.
I agree.
It's amazing.
It's been in the 20 years or 22 years since I've been involved with diabetes. This is a game changer.
Yeah.
In the business. There's been new products that have come out that with blood glucose that took less blood, and they were faster, which was nice. But this is something that's really changing the way that people living with diabetes monitor their blood sugar.
Yeah, and the exciting thing is, for our business is we're probably in inning 2 or 3 of a 9-inning game, so it's early on. A lot of early adopters have, adopted the strategy, but there's so much room for growth and so much room for opportunity for ADS and our team.
I think the number one thing in one word is service. We're a distributor. We're not a manufacturer. We don't make a product, but we provide products to people, and we build their insurance for them. Us providing a great service, which we send products to people's house, and we call them every month or every 3 months, and so we provide a unique service that a retail pharmacy wouldn't provide. Number 2, and I think you and I both have learned this, is to have the right people working at the company. I mean, we've gone from 2 people to 900 people, and the real reason for our success, as most businesses will tell you, is the people who work here. And we've hired some fantastic people that have made a difference, who care about the patients, who care about our referral sources, and that really, in my opinion, has led to our success.
I couldn't agree more. Both those things, I think, we always harped on and had a foundational principle of exceptional customer service, right? I mean, that was our hallmark, and something that happened in this last year in 2021 was we acquired US Med in Florida. Different companies have different cultures and so forth, and I think we were super lucky in our integration with the companies that they had the same DNA of great people, great customer service, but there were enough things that we could learn from each other that was part of our growth as a company too. A significant bump for us to basically double in size last year, which is amazing. God, there's so much opportunity. I think bringing US Med and ADS together gives us a super broad platform. I think coast to coast, we've got East Coast, West Coast operations now. One of the ways that US Med was really successful was direct-to-consumer marketing, which that was not our forte. We were more a direct sales model or healthcare professional sales model. But I think taking that, and they also had a sales team that was good too. So putting it all together. And then one of the things that they brought to the table, which US Med had developed more than we had, was their efficiencies of operations. And I think bringing those efficiency of operations into our operating system is going to be, for 2022, is going to be a huge initiative. But beyond that, I just think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity, both with CGM, with insulin pumps. The technologies keep advancing, and we're kind of at the head of the industry, I think, in the way that we approach it. So I don't know, that's how I see it. And I just think we've got tremendous growth opportunity in front of us. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree. The one stat that we hear from the manufacturers of CGM is that there's only been 17% penetration in the people who could qualify for continuous glucose monitoring, which means there's 83% more people that could benefit from CGM. So I think there's a lot more opportunity for patients to realize this revolutionary technology. And as doctors, primarily a lot of our business has come from endocrinologists who specialize in diabetes, and now there's more internal medicine and family practice doctors who are looking at CGM saying, oh, this is something that I really don't understand, but I want to understand and prescribe to my patients. So I think
base is coming way wider.
I think as time goes on, there's going to be more and more doctors, not just endocrinologists, prescribing this product. So I think it's going to be, and we have a fantastic sales force that's outreaching to these physicians to bring on new patients, and we see that in our numbers, over the last few years.
One of the things that's I thought about it as you talked about our growth is the excitement that gives to one of my favorite things, which is seeing people grow within the organization. And we've got some great stories about people that have come in at entry-level positions that are now literally at C-level positions. And so it's fun to watch that. That's been an amazing part of our journey for the last 20 years, is to see people grow and in their careers and advance themselves and their families. And
I agree.
that's been a lot of fun.